Hey everyone, welcome back to Bible Verse Breakdown. I'm your friend Ewaenruwa Nomaren, and in this video we are going to be breaking down what the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 14, which reads, "For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy." So we have to understand what the word sanctification means. Sanctification has to do with holiness. And if we study the scriptures, one thing we're going to notice is that marriage is a holy institution. As the writer of the Hebrew account stated, "Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge." If you also look at how the same Apostle Paul described it in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22, straight down to verse 29, you can see that he was talking about how, just as how a man should care for his wife, and a wife should respect her husband and obey him and so on, Christ also has his own bride, the church, headed by the apostles, according to Revelation chapter 19 from verses 6 to 8, chapter 21 verse 9, and chapter 14 verses 1 to 5. And he mentioned how Christ, through his death, sanctified the church so that it could be holy and without blemish before God. So the point I want to make with this is the fact that marriage is holy, and because of that, it sanctifies those who are within it. So for example, if a woman is righteous, then she kind of sanctifies her husband. Now this doesn't necessarily mean that the husband becomes righteous and is going to be saved, because that is a personal thing that you have with God, according to Philippians chapter 2 verse 12. "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." See also Ezekiel chapter 14 verses 14 to 20. But it's kind of like God can still be present in that family, even if it's only the man who is righteous, or it's only the woman who is righteous. And because of the sanctity or holiness of marriage, a man, for example, cannot drive his wife away from the house. Neither should a woman just abandon her marriage like that, because there's that spiritual bond that has been created by being under that canopy of marriage, just as God Almighty, for example, had with Israel, according to Jeremiah chapter 2, verses 2 and 3, chapter 3, verse 8, Hosea chapter 2, verses 18 to 23, and many other places all over the scriptures. So what I want us to understand is the fact that the sanctity of marriage, or the holiness of such institutions, becomes like a cover for everyone in it. And because of that, in certain cases, God can show grace to an entire family because one person in it is righteous. For example, if you look at the days of Noah, you can see that Noah was the only righteous man in the whole world, according to Genesis chapter 6 verse 9 and chapter 7 verse 1. However, God spared his whole family because of Noah's righteousness, according to 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 5. So you can see that Noah's righteousness became like a cover for his wife and children. It sanctified them. The same thing happened to Lot in Genesis chapter 19. Lot's daughters were not really righteous people. You can see that by what they did after they escaped the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. However, God still saved Lot and his family because of Lot's righteousness. The fact that he didn't associate with the evils that were going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. And it's not just family, it actually grows bigger than that to include institutions, nations. For example, God spared the tribe of Judah on multiple occasions because of David. If you read it, 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 36 and 2 Kings chapter 8 verse 19. God spared the nation of Israel in the wilderness because of the relationship he had with Moses in Exodus chapter 32 verses 9 to 14 and Numbers chapter 14 verses 13 to 21. In both those occasions, the Israelites had offended God very seriously, the first with idolatry and the second with rebellion against God's purpose to bring them into the promised land. But in both cases, he spared them because of Moses' prayers of intercession and that relationship, that spiritual bond that they had. So it sanctified the people. So once again, what Paul meant in that verse, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 14, is the fact that when people are under a spiritual institution, such as marriage or family, if one person is righteous or is a child of God, then their righteousness now becomes like a cover so that God can deal with the whole family, even if not every single member of it is righteous. And if we are in a situation too, be it male or female, where we have a family where not everyone believes in God, but we are righteous, we've been called by God, then our whole family is sanctified. It doesn't mean that they'll all be saved, but what it means is they all now have a chance at salvation because of our righteousness and the lights that we will now show to them, according to Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. And that is where I'm going to stop on breaking down what Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 14, which reads, "For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy." So, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when we come out with another video. Have a great day, and God bless you.